Hello.
Hola! Welcome to Middle-Aged Adventure. Oh my god! I
What
just
happened?
started and I can't even talk.
Yeah, but that's a great place to start.
Okay. Welcome to Middle-Aged Adventure Walks.
There you go.
This is our first WaTalking video.
Bad portmanteaus, we
which
call them.
We love
it's one of our favorite bad portmanteaus.
bad portmanteaus. So it's our first walking and talking video. Oh my god, I have my microphone the wrong way. Okay, we're just gonna do this.
We're doing this. You're seeing it live. You're seeing the behind the scenes. The camera's moving.
Okay.
Now it's all behind us.
All right,
We're doing it.
We got it. We're ready.
Because normally we shoot longer walking videos and we do not talk, other than when we're talking about rom-commies, when we talk about rom-coms.
Yes.
But this time now we're actually giving us a little preview, and this is a trend we're going to go on. We're going to go in this direction.
Yes, and part of it was because during our time creating our channel, which, by the way, today is our 2-year anniversary.
We're celebrating 2 years.
Celebrating 2 years.
2 days. We just went to shoot this, and then they told us.
We know on YouTube that means we're just baby children still, but we're very excited. We've been at this for 2 years. What was I saying?
You have a point.
Do I?
Oh yeah, she's got a hibiscus in her hair. We're wearing bathing suits.
I don't remember
We're
my
on
point.
the beach. We were just talking with a guy who's moved down here and he's loving life here. He's been here 2 years. We were in Puerto Morelos.
Yeah.
He says there's more Canadians here than Mexicans.
Yeah.
That could be true.
Oh, I remember
don't
my
know.
point.
I
My
bought you time.
Thank you. My point was that over the 2 years when we've met people and run into people, they're always so confused why we don't go in front of the camera and why we don't talk in our videos, because we're just so darn charming, you know?
Why
So-
don't you show your faces?
Why
You're
don't-
so entertaining.
Oh, you're so entertaining.
Which is
You're
good to
so
hear. We
fun.
appreciate that. Anybody who says that to us,
so
thank
good.
you for the compliment.
Thank you. However,
Yeah.
we are kind of doing YouTube our way.
And so that's why we titled this video, I think we're going to have the title, if you want to make it on YouTube, don't do what we did.
No.
And having said that, though, we kind of making it on YouTube.
We're doing pretty good.
We are monetized.
Yeah.
People ask us, do you make money? Yes, we actually
Yeah, we
are
do.
making some money.
Mhm.
However, we, would like to make a little more than the modest amount we have.
Well, because we would like to keep doing this. This is our thing now. I think now that we've tasted it and we know what it's all about, I want to keep going.
And we're taking some of that Google money. So Google,
We are.
thank you,
Yeah,
because you have enough money.
You do.
And you can give us more.
You can give us way more.
And mainly we just want to sustain our lifestyle. We're really enjoying this rhythm we're in. We've been coming back down here every 6 months or so, and we've considered doing what that fellow we were just talking to about moving here and things. But there is an advantage also for us of going back and forth, because we do like Canada as well. For all you Canadians listening, we still like our home country.
Yes. Summers in Canada are great.
Beautiful.
Water out of the tap is a really fun thing to get to have.
And we love the heat in Canada. However, it's almost like a medical thing at this point for us, and we actually think there should be medical coverage now. And I know some people would scoff at that, but certain people, the Canadian winter, there's no place in Canada. For those who have not been in a Canadian winter, no place in Canada that is warm, none.
That's true.
So imagine being in a country where every single year, if you don't like the cold, minus 20, minus 10, even in Vancouver, where we have many videos, 0 in Vancouver is absolutely freezing with cold, freezing rain. And
Yeah.
so there is this almost like a medical imperative that we come down here. So we do like the best of both worlds. We'll see where it goes. But mainly we're having so much fun doing this.
We are really having a really good time. And we like showing you what we call walkumentaries, which are walking documentaries.
Another bad portmanteau.
Because we know that there are a lot of YouTubers who do walking tours, and they're like travel, and they really show you in-depth things about popular places that people go. Whereas we like to think of ourselves as being a little bit different in our walkumentaries, that they're more of a documentary style thing, and they are...
Ooh, look at that crane's going out on the dock right now.
Oh
I
my
don't know
God,
if that's
that
visible or
crane
not,
is
but
going out on the dock.
there's
I
some
don't know if
major
it is
action out
visible
there in the
either.
industrial area.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit more present and personal with our walkumentaries.
And at
I
the same
guess.
time being objective.
Yes.
And that's what we get a lot of people in comments who really enjoy us just stepping back and not saying anything differently than we are right now, where we just let the place present itself, and we try to present it without comment, literally and figuratively. And we enjoy that because it allows viewers to reach their own conclusion. It allows them to feel like they're walking in our steps. And, if you hear a voice like right now, you don't feel necessarily like it's you walking on this particular walk. You're actually walking with us now. But with our other videos, we really like that you get to feel like you're hearing the sounds and you're hearing the locals and
Yeah. Also,
way
I
it
feel
is.
like there's nothing but opinions on the internet. So many opinions.
to put it the nice way, opinions are like mouths and everybody has one.
That's right. And so it's kind of nice to not show something with a whole bunch of opinions, or like, hey guys, welcome here, we're going to show you this and talk about all these things, which are WaTalking will have maybe a little bit more
Yeah,
of.
that's what we're branching into a little bit.
However, I still don't feel like we're going to be all super opinion laden.
Well, yeah, because the longer walking videos are bread and butter.
Yeah, and we're going to still do long walkumentaries. That's still going to happen.
They're our favorite.
Yeah, but we're just adding a little bit more things like these WaTalking videos.
On demand, really.
and
People wanted us.
People did. They wanted us.
We've heard from the people.
Yeah, and then more rom-commies as well, because we've also heard from the people that they enjoy our rom-commies. So
And we love true love. And
We do.
We like watching things about true love and talking
we
about
do.
true love.
We do.
And that's ultimately what this journey is. You know, it's a true love. It's true love for nature. It's love for each other. It's a love for Mexico. It's a love for Canada. And, you know, shout out to Alan in Prince Edward Island if he's listening. But, you know, they're give and take. That's what he kept saying to us when we stayed with him in Progresso
Yes.
last year. And, you know, it's that thing of like every single place has amazing positives and every single place has amazing negatives. And a huge part of life is kind of balancing out the two. So again, that's why with our longer videos, we often try to go to places like the real life local neighborhoods. And we're not always trying to show the tourist neighborhoods. Having said that, though, we are in an extremely touristy area right now
We are.
of
Puerto Morelos.
Portside.
Portside.
That's how the
down at
gringos always say,
Portside.
hey, you going to Portside?
Yeah, we're in Portside.
Are you going to Fives, going to Portside?
Yeah.
The locals call it Puerto. And
Yes.
even this, you know, looking ahead, like a lot of people might not show that industrial boat there spewing a bit of diesel smoke into the atmosphere. But we're not going to shy from that. We're willing to just be like, this is the way it is. You know, you got a beautiful paradise, and then you also have an industrial dock. And having
Yeah.
said that, in Mexico, you always get good DJs.
That's right.
That's how we started talking to the guy who lived down here. By the way, there was somebody singing live, and they were singing with gusto. Let's just put it that way. They were going for it. We shared a good chuckle over that.
We did.
Went from there because we support art.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, even this is only one DJ source because often in Mexico you get the double DJ, we call it, where you hear at least two songs that are overlapping and playing.
yeah.
And then so ahead of us, for instance, that whole area is all industrial zone. So
Yeah.
behind us, you remember we'll show behind
We'll
us.
show behind. We'll do it behind.
You can walk in that direction.
For real long ways.
Like-
We've walked in for real long ways
We tried it
before
like
with
hours,
that.
and
So,
it just keeps going.
I just want to say,
Going.
one thing.
Say it.
That in our rom-commies, we say our real names. But I feel like with our WaTalking, we should stick to our character names.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we are our characters.
Yeah, but let's introduce ourselves. So I'm Shooter. And I know when we think shooter, maybe we don't think the best of things, but I'm taking that word back because I am shooting
We're
videos.
pacifists.
We are pacifists. And I'm shooting videos, and when I'm in shooter mode, it is like my creativity. Let's do this. Shooter gets very excited about shooting, about showing what's going on. And very often will tucker me out because Shooter just wants to keep walking and shooting.
Like that day in Puerto Morelos, if you want to check out
Yeah.
our north of Puerto Morelos videos.
Oh, man.
Shooter just kept going.
I just kept going.
and going.
My pretty little legs just went, and they were like, we're going to walk as far as we can go.
And then we hit the end, and Liesel was like, "Oh my, what
So
have I done?
tired. So ridiculous. I was like, Shooter, so
I have to walk all the way back.
Yeah.
Oh no!"
So that's me. Hi, nice to meet you.
And I'm Salvavida,
Salva Vida.
and that is the Spanish word for the Mexican Spanish word and Spanish word for lifeguard. And we got that because Liesel is an amazing skier. She taught me to ski. She's a mountain girl.
Both? Yeah.
And then I grew up on the coast, so I'm a coastal guy.
Yeah.
And I help Liesel learn to swim. So
Yeah.
when we go out in places where there are bigger waves and things, we go together usually. Here, though, as you can see, it's pretty calm here.
It
When
is
we first
calm.
got here a week ago, that hurricane off Jamaica was still affecting the reef out there.
It was. The waves were huge.
There's a whole reef, by the way, that runs around Puerto Morelos. Doesn't
Yeah.
get enough hype. But it
No.
actually blocks the waves.
Yeah.
And then you see that boom out there. That's to keep the sargassum out.
Yeah.
And it's been a little bit since
There's
we've
a
been
bit,
here,
yeah,
but
there's a bit sargassum.
you know, as people who live here know, in the sargassum season, it can be far worse, which is usually the spring.
Yes.
So yeah, Salvavida, and
that's because also you're Salva Vida, because when I'm shooting, when I'm shooter
oh
and
yes,
shooter,
good point.
you look out for me just make sure I'm not going to run into things, or
people are going to run into
run
her.
into me. Or
I'm basically a bodyguard.
Yeah, you're my bodyguard.
On land.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
feel
I'm a
safe.
salvavida who also takes it to the beach and
Yeah.
takes it inland and
Yeah.
looks out for my lady friend.
It's great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because there's cars, there's motorbikes, there's dogs,
Yeah.
dogsticles, bikesticles.
Yeah, and together we are middle-aged adventure walks.
Yeah, doing WaTalking.
And part of being middle-aged adventure walks is that we are not 20-something adventure walks, or let's go out at night to the bars adventure walks, or
And some middle-aged people do. That's not.
That's great. No, that's totally fine. But for us, we're just maybe a little bit more, what would you say, chill?
Oh,
Cash?
for sure, tranquilo.
Tranquilo than some of that. And so, yeah. But it doesn't mean that you have to be middle-aged to enjoy our walkumentaries or our WaTalkings or come spend time on our channel. We really invite everybody. Oh, I want to tell a little story. Can I tell a little story?
Sure.
So, a bunch of years ago, pre the vid, I got really sick.
Pandemic.
I got really sick. And one of the things that sort of like helped me through that were watching walking videos on YouTube. And what I really appreciated about it was that I was not able to get up and go and do my favorite things like walking. I love walking, going for big walks, going on adventure walks. And so when the pandemic was all over and we finally got to come down to Mexico, and I had my existential crisis of who am I if I'm not doing what I was before, because
EC for short.
we were in the arts and
Theater, to be precise,
we were
live
looking,
performance.
Yeah, we were looking for a little bit of a pivot, which was kind of in the works anyway, but then that really put it into the works. And so having my ECs, my existential crisis, while we were
Ooh, an osprey just flew
swimming
overhead.
ooh, that's cool. While
Right
we were
there.
swimming in Zihuatanejo, I was just like, what are we gonna do? What do I want to do with my life? And people always talk about following your dreams, and they talk about if you're doing what you love, then success will find you. And what I realized is that one of my favorite things to do is to just go out and go for a walk and see where it leads me. Go for an adventure walk. And an adventure walk can be a walk you've done before and you can still go and have an adventure on it, or it can be a completely new place that you've never seen before. And when I realized that, and I felt like all those walking videos that I had watched had helped me so much, I don't know, something clicked and it sunk in, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to share my love of walking and adventure walks with everybody out there who maybe A, can't walk, or B, can't get to places like, say, Assiniboine. We went to Mount Assiniboine, which is one of Canada's most famous mountains. It's called the Canadian Matterhorn of Canada. And not everybody's going to get to Assiniboine, but we got to go there. And so by making those walkumentaries there, we're getting to share that experience. And I love that. It feels so good. So thank you if you're here checking that out, and our long-form walkumentaries.
In a lot of
We
ways,
just really
it was
appreciate
birthed on the beaches of Zihuatanejo
That's right.
in Playa La Madera. We call it Playa Las Niñas, or Niños, depending on how big the waves are.
Yeah.
But it was really a process of just, being in the waves, and we had just freshly got out, like Lee was saying, out of the pandemic, and it was a serious process. What do we want to do? What is? And so it was really great to figure that out there, and then realize, well, wait a second, we love coming here to Mexico, and we have a young adult son as well, and he's looking at our house back in Canada, and we're kind of in a unique position where we are able to take such risks. And there's a word I like, it's not my word, it's called synchromysticism. And it's that thing we're recognizing the signs in life where things occur that maybe defied the odds of normality, and you take them as signs that I am on the right path. And that osprey that flew over, for instance, I was just going to mention when it flew over that we were here with our adult son a couple of years ago and had an amazing time on this very beach. And actually, this is where he chose to go.
Yeah.
We had the whole beach to go, and he chose this area because it's kind of a local area, and as you can see, not a lot of people come here, definitely not tourists, and the other parts of Puerto Morelos have lots of hotels and things. But I associate the osprey with him, and I didn't know the ospreys were down here. I'm going to have to look that up a little more, because I'm pretty sure that was an osprey. It came real close.
Yeah.
But when he was born, they built a ferry in Nelson called the Osprey 2000, and he was born in 2000. He's a 2000 model. And I always assume that I always relate that to him. I always think about that. So the fact that right when I was just going to bring up the fact that our son was here with us. We had an amazing time. For those who know what
I mean,
boba
he's with
is.
us in our hearts. He's
Always.
not actually with us this time.
And water bouncing ball, if anybody knows what those
Yeah,
are.
well, boba.
And him and I, we used to do that all growing up in Kootenai Lake and things. And now here we are. We got to do it here, and it was one of my favorite moments of my life. And he really enjoyed it. So the fact that that osprey just flew over while him and I had that moment, right?
Yeah, that's lovely.
And then if I may, the other thing that I was going to mention was just about YouTube. The reason that we're talking about YouTube and our title is Don't Do What We Did.
Yeah.
It's a bit tongue-in-cheek. We like to do that a little bit, a little woo-way, throw you off a little bit. That idea that actually we think you should do what we're doing to a lot of extent.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
But just meaning like,
If
we
you
actually
wanna
think
be
it's
like-
a neat model.
Yeah, but if you're like really wanting to be super successful, I mean, we're not pawning sexuality. We're not like, look
Well,
at us.
as far as we know.
Well, I mean, I suppose so.
Yes,
but you know what I
you
mean?
should see yourself right now.
Okay.
I would use that word.
Okay, but I'm not like in front of the camera being
And
check on my
that's what I was
boys,
gonna say,
check on my
yeah.
cleavage, let's do this, you know?
Yeah,
like
and even though we
different
could,
thing- we
and you have
could.
great cleavage.
Thank you. Yeah, but part of doing YouTube the way we're doing is for sustainability.
Yeah.
It's because we don't want it to be just a flash in the pan. We want to keep doing this. And so being middle-aged, we really wanted to come up with a formula that was sustainable for us to be able to do for a really long time. And I'm a pretty sensitive individual, and I just really didn't need to hear about whatever opinions were going to get flown around about let's say my looks.
Well,
and
'cause
I know
what do they
that
know?
sounds like whatever,
Because
but
for those who are wondering, she's beautiful.
oh, that's very nice
Youthful.
of you. Thank you. But you know, there's just a lot of opinions, especially about women and women's bodies and faces and all those kind of things.
I'm pretty beautiful too, by the way.
You are
just if
beautiful. You're
anybody's
very
wondering.
handsome. So we could. I mean, we could be like, look at us, beautiful middle-aged
milk it.
people. We could.
We could exploit ourselves.
And we do talk about perhaps one day when our channel grows, maybe in our membership, doing things when we create our
what?
membership,
What, we're gonna
showing
exploit
our
ourselves?
faces. No.
Oh, just our faces.
Just
We're
our-
gonna
yeah.
exploit our faces.
We'll exploit our face. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We
We'll
haven't
see.
fully decided.
Well, I mean, we can plant that seed that people, we figure people have to pay for the privilege to see our face.
right.
So
That's
everybody
right.
was like, "Oh, I really want to see your face." It's like, "Oh, do you?"
Because then hopefully if you're paying,
How
you're
much?
not there to just like insult, you know? That's the hope.
Yeah.
And maybe that's coming from like a not too, what do you want to say?
What?
Like, well, just like thinking immediately negative about what the potential that's going to happen that way. But it's more just
Don't
like,
suffer through something that hasn't happened.
yeah, it's just like staying positive and doing what we want to do. But on YouTube, generally, if you're not always talking about YouTube or things that are happening,
Algo.
trending. Yeah, if you're not making out with the algo all the time, being like, hey, algo,
Is the
let's
algo
do this
sexy?
thing. I mean, no,
It's
not
scary.
really.
It's dangerous.
It is dangerous. It's not
It's
sexy.
making us not human.
But if,
Well, and that's a huge thing. We are not here to placate the algo. We
No.
are not here to
Yes.
give the incels what they want.
No.
Nothing. Well, I don't know. Let's stick away from that subject.
Yeah, let's stay away from that subject.
And well, that's part of it. We're ultimately not going to get too political overtly on purpose, because we feel like you can draw all sorts of political conclusions
Sure.
from what you're looking at and what
Sure.
you can see, and we're going to trust you to have your own journalistic ethos.
Critical thinking, it's an amazing thing that people should look up and research what it is, because it's kind of getting lost in the world today, and we like to encourage critical thinking.
And we give you the space to do that. And so that's a huge thing, right? Is that we don't even put ourselves in our thumbnails. There's so
No.
many things when you listen to the YouTube
So
gurus.
many things. Oh
the
my
people who
God.
are like, I know more than the YouTube gurus.
Yeah.
All these things. We actually just choose. We know the rules. It's kind of
Yeah.
like we've always done in our artistic lives, and then we choose to break them.
Yes.
And there are so many ways that we actually could have capitalized more on what we're doing. In terms of, like we were saying, face and all sorts of things. So we actually feel really good about where we're at our 2-year anniversary. It's very encouraging, and weirdly enough, all our videos in this area have done some of our best. And we've got more than a million views,
Woohoo!
which is a lot.
It is a
Whenever
lot.
you get to say 500,000 plus,
Yeah,
that's promising.
that is promising.
And it's allowed us to keep doing what we're doing, and we're just really hoping that this video and then also our WaTalking will kind of take it to this next level. And part of the evolution of our channel, Middle Age Adventure Walks, MAW for short, is telling our story more. Like we were saying, we were very
Right.
objective in presenting things, and we
Right.
didn't really tell you too much what was happening
Right.
behind the scenes. Whereas now that we're at the place that we're at and maybe setting up a membership and things, we figured it is a good time now to start introducing our story and who we are.
Yeah.
And so the main
Because
headline.
that is a thing, sorry to interrupt, but that is a thing
go
that YouTube does say to do, right? Is like be vulnerable, share your authenticity, share your story. And in a way,
Which we haven't done.
But we were doing it with our videos,
Yeah.
but just not in such a direct way.
Yeah.
So
So the main headline of this year, which is season 3 of Middle Age Adventure Walks, season 1 was all Ziwa pretty well.
yeah,
Zihuatanejo.
yeah.
And if you haven't been there, that's where they want to go at the end of Shawshank. That's how good it is. And
Love Ziwa.
where the Pacific has no memory. So
Yeah,
beautiful, fantastic
Beautiful.
place. Shout out to anybody who's in Ziwa,
Yeah.
our friends
yeah.
who were there. And then second season was Ziwa and Yucatan, and we'll see about this season. But right now, the headline is where you're going to take the Maya train, the Tren Maya, and you should do some research on it if you're interested at all in traveling around Mexico, because it was a controversial thing when it got built. There still are people who don't like it. Some Mayan people say there's nothing Mayan about the Maya train. We've heard that before.
Yeah, and also
However,
there
we
was
have-
environmental damage that did occur.
To the cenotes and things.
yeah,
and,
which was not cool.
and they spent a lot of money on it. Having
Yeah.
said that, though, a lot of people do love it, and a lot of people really appreciate it, bringing tourist areas and preserving the pyramids and the ruins and things. And so, again, you can draw your own conclusions on the Tren Maya, and there's the osprey right ahead of us there. Synchronism.
Yeah.
You can draw your own conclusions, and usually the truth, as a lot of people know, is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So for us, we thought about going to Europe this time, season 3.
We did.
Go on the trains. I love trains. Train travel is a lovely way to do it. We were some of the first people to be on the Maya train with our
Yep.
son. He loves trains. We did a journey with him from Valladolid to Cancun. And in the first year, the Maya train wasn't running that smoothly. They were still figuring things out. So our train got canceled and we had to go on the later one. And on one hand, we were bummed because it was going to be dark, but then the moon was out and it was actually beautiful.
It was lovely.
So and then it was hard to buy tickets. You didn't know where the website was really, and then it was hard to know like what the destinations were at the times. So last year we came down again, and it was a lot better. They had figured out things. It seemed like they had run trains before. And this year so far things have been great. So we're going to do the whole tour
Yes.
of the Yucatan Peninsula.
We sure are.
And you can look it up, but we're basically going south, then we're going west, then we're going north, then we're going east, and we love if you stick with us. We're going to be doing these walk-talkings the whole way.
Yep. Plus
various
our
places.
documentaries. Yep.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yep.
And, we're really kind of liking that idea of giving people that experience. And the thing about train travel for us is, again, middle age, is for some people, bus travel, plane travel, any of those kind of time travel devices that we go in and pretend they're really normal things when they're actually really bizarre. Oh, there's a loon right there in the water ahead.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest for some people.
Like me. We can just say it. It's me. I'm a dizzy kind of person, and I get very motion sick, and I have my entire life since I was a tiny baby. When I was a tiny baby, if I went on a car ride, my mom would bring extra clothes because I would definitely throw up on what I was wearing.
So
now, luckily, I don't throw up on what I'm wearing.
Yeah, it's great.
But
So
buses don't make me feel the best.
Yeah, at all. And
Yeah.
as our son knows one time, it really depends on the driver sometimes and
Yeah,
how he
yeah.
knows how to operate his bus.
Very true.
And, you can have a good bus driver and things relatively smooth and,
Yeah.
it's pretty straight and you're okay. But for us, train travel, for any people who have any kind of motion sickness, the Maya train is amazing that way.
Yes.
People ask us, is it new? It's about as new as a train system could be.
Yes.
They mop and clean it a remarkable amount.
They really
The
do.
stations, we'll show you some stuff, and we already have stuff on our channel. Impeccable. They're amazing. They're
Yeah.
huge.
They're
They're
beautiful.
cathedrals
They
almost,
are.
train stations.
They really are.
And they're all open air, and there's marble or marble-esque things, and the
Yeah.
washrooms are huge, and it's really impressive.
Yeah,
So,
and so while we may not give you
whoa,
like
sinkhole!
holy God,
I just sank it like a
sinkhole.
foot.
I know that was wild. Whoa.
I'm back.
We're almost getting to the
Quicksand!
end too. You can see
yeah.
the sargassum and the sargassum
Oh, another
piles
quicksand!
that they've put over there. So if any of you are ever wondering, oh my God, it's quicksand here, we might
Quicksand!
have to turn around. But I just want to get closer and show.
Well, we can
This
go inland
sargassum.
like a meter, and I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Ah! They're surviving
Sinking.
quicksand.
Sinking.
That's something we laugh about, by the way. Nobody ever dies in quicksand. Nobody's ever, you really never hear about that. But every single movie that has any adventure, you end up in quicksand. So
In the 80s.
that's why we're joking about
It's still
quicksand.
good to know how to get out of quicksand if
Yeah,
you
we know.
need to. Yeah,
If it ever happens, we could have gotten out of that.
We could have if we did quicksand.
Yeah, and like Liesel's saying, this is such a good example of Mexico, because here we are in this touristy area, but we're in quite a local area. You can hear the noise of construction in the background.
Yeah.
There's the boom right here where it ends, and as you can see, that's the sargassum if they didn't have this boom.
Yeah.
There's the industrial, there's the air pollution.
Yeah.
But then look at this beauty
Look at this beauty.
at the same time.
Yeah, and the little birdies and everything.
And that storm, by the way, that you can see out there, seems to be heading this way.
Yeah.
And the Yucatan weather, if you ever come down here, you'll learn that the weather forecasts are unpredictable, even though they try to be predictable.
Yeah.
And I can empathize, though, because it can be 10 different weather systems, as you can see, in one day.
It's
even
true.
now.
It's true. It's big sky. The
Which is
Yucatan's so flat,
It's
and
called
so
the Yucatan
there's
Plain.
such big sky, and you can. It's like being in the prairies in Alberta or Saskatchewan or where you can just see for so long, and so the clouds become these spectacular events. And sometimes you can be in beautiful sunshine, and you can look down the way and say, "Oh, it's raining over there," but not where we are.
And if you live in a valley or mountainous situation in Canada with the rain and the winter, you appreciate the big sky, and you appreciate the fact that we can see for hundreds and hundreds of kilometers in all directions.
Yeah, that being said, we want to shoot a lot of documentaries for you while we're here. And we were hoping for some, beautiful blue sky weather, and we don't know if that's going to happen, but whatever. We'll take it day by day.
And
we're
that's
still
part of
gonna
showing
show
the
you.
realism.
Yeah,
Obviously
absolutely.
we're fair weather walkers. We joked about that before.
Yes, we are fair weather
However, the Yucatan, it does rain more. Like for those who don't want to have rain, Zihuatanejo is more your place, because it's basically a tropical desert, and it rains. Like we had one rain last year. It rained in January, and the locals were freaking out. It rained for like 2 days, and they all like, this never happens. And imagine being in a place like Vancouver, for instance, and being told that it never rains in January, February, December.
Yeah, right?
So this place does rain, and so that's part of it, is that instead of being like, well, we're not going to shoot today because it's raining,
Or
we will
because
show
it's
you.
not beautiful blue sky.
Yeah, or
still
we'll even
interesting.
show you an industrial area sometimes, and
Yeah.
arguably this is close to the industrial. Even here, we might go walking into the industrial area, which was kind of behind that dock that we were just looking at.
Yeah. And so while I was gonna say before I lost track on a different direction.
We have
while
all
we're
the
not,
tracks.
like-
We're on track. We haven't lost any tracks.
There's no tracks.
Yeah, we're doing the weave.
We're doing the weave. Oh, now it was my track. That even though we're not like fully a travel channel, right? Like we're not going to be like giving you all the deets and the facts about everything. We are going to provide some information that we learned that we think would be helpful in terms of the Maya train, and maybe certain areas that we're in if we find something that we like or find is interesting, or just anything a little bit helpful that way. But that's not what it's all about. Really, it's about being there in the walkumentary, just seeing something from an objective perspective and making your own decisions about what you see.
Yeah, and I think a lot of tips of ours will come from our middle-aged perspective, the things that work for us.
Yes.
And things like, for instance, if like flying in Cancun from Canada is relatively easy, and you can often get non-stop flights, which for middle-agers is fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're landing before you know it. This flight, I couldn't believe it. Liesl could attest. I was like, wait, we're landing? What's even happening?
Yeah.
And then you can just stay at an airport hotel that is maybe the price of a hotel on the cusp. British Columbia, for instance, which if you compare the two, it's surprising, but it's relatively the same. And you can get a free shuttle out of the Cancun airport as opposed to paying I was going to say exorbitant, but a nice way to put it is very expensive. Taxi fees, for instance, you get the free shuttle.
Although we don't know, they might be changing the taxi fees. We're not sure.
Yeah, we're not
But
experts.
we're not
just telling you
experts.
our experience.
Yeah.
And then, you get the free breakfast in the morning at such hotel. I won't say the name because, we're not going to pump up too much, but it's a fancy, somewhat corporate hotel near the airport.
Yeah.
And then you can get a quick cab to the Maya train station, which is right near the Cancun airport. And then in 20 minutes, you're at the Maya train station in Puerto Morelos. 20 minutes, that's it. And then you get off, and you would think there'd be a lot of transport options when you get off and a lot of hubbub. But for instance, when we got there just recently, nobody. There was one couple. They were Mexican.
Yeah.
And what they had a car? What
No,
were
they were staying at a resort, so they were
right,
waiting for
yeah.
a shuttle that was going to come pick them up.
So we had this one cab guy in one
Yeah.
of the littlest cars you'll ever see, and he was just waiting there. You know, he was a little Suzuki thing, and he was just like, "All right, you guys want to ride? Yeah, okay." Pop in, very cheap, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in Puerto Morelos. So for middle-agers, when you're thinking about flying 23 hours to Southeast Asia or something, which we definitely think about.
Yeah.
Then we think about buses, we think about the boats we'd have to take there.
Yeah.
People talk about the food in Mexico, but we find if you get those drops that you can wash your veggies and stuff, it's
Yeah.
actually quite affordable to have the food here. And once those things all add up, 5-6 hour direct flight, easy jaunt into Puerto Morelos. That for our kind of middle-aged travel, you still get that adventure. That's why we did the dichotomy between middle age and adventure.
Yeah.
And it's not middle-aged like adventure runs. It's not middle-aged adventure climbs. It's not all those things.
It's not middle-aged parasailing. It's not middle-aged mountain climbing.
And nothing against these
It's
things.
not
If people wanna
middle-aged
be risk takers-
extreme. That's great. If you want to go be extreme, that's great. But that's not what we're up to.
So those are the kind of tips that we're going to be giving, right?
Which again is like not praying to the algos, because old algo there wants us to be like extreme.
We're going snorkeling.
Oh my god, extreme snorkeling, extreme this, we did this, amazing.
We're going jet skiing.
Bleh.
By the way, another great thing we just realized about Puerto Morelos, there's no jet skis. You might like jet skis. You might be a middle-ager, like jet skiing. That's great.
Maybe you
We
want
don't.
a jet ski. Yeah.
They're noisy. We like peace and quiet. Like, listen how quiet this is right now. You got the sound of the waves. There's no parasailing boats going by. So
Yeah. It's
even
just a
though we
little
love
bit different
Ziwa,
than
those
some other
things do
places.
exist there.
Yeah.
So, that's the kind of stuff that if you stay tuned, if you follow our story, we hope you do, those are the kind of things you get, and we'll give you a little background on who we are and what we are. We've actually gotten really personal, by the way. If you've listened to this episode, you probably learned more about us than the history of our whole channel combined.
That's true. No, that's very true.
Even though we haven't revealed everything.
No.
But we did reveal our nicknames.
I know. And my motion sickness.
I mean, but again, these
And
are...
we gave a few opinions about things. Opinions.
Because they're like mouths. So, we probably will be doing this maybe once a week or so?
Yeah, we talked about doing 2 walkumentaries and 1 WaTalking a week, and then we'll throw in a rom-commy every now and then.
And again, we're middle-aged now, so if we don't fully follow that schedule exactly, that's the way it is. And for those wondering, we've lived the thing. We've gotten up early. We've lived the life. We've put in all those hours. That has been our life. We were dedicated theater artists who put in the time.
Yeah.
And, just to wrap up in that sense, Liesl, I'm going to toot her horn.
Oh, don't toot my horn.
I'm her hype man.
Oh, man.
She's kind of the anti-hype man.
I am the
I'm the hype man.
anti-hype. It's true. I'm anti-hype.
She got quite popular, and I called her a small town celebrity, but she was quite popular in the small town we lived in. And that's a big part, right? If you've actually experienced fame, you've experienced being on a stage with a microphone in front of hundreds of people and they're all enthralled with what you're doing. If you put on a show and there's thousands of tickets sold and it's a sold out in the theater every night, you kind of already had that experience. So for those wanting more from us that way, maybe you needed to be there 15, 20 years ago when we were doing that. And Lisa was basically being asked to host pretty well most gigs in town and that kind of stuff.
This feels nice. It feels nice to be behind the camera. And it feels like I get to express my creativity in a different way, which I really appreciate. I've always liked photography. I've always enjoyed cameras, so.
Yeah, you did it in high school.
Yeah.
She's got some great photography stories, actually. Maybe we'll get into those sometime about her high school photography stories and how she did it.
That's stealing print paper.
So, that's the thing about life is sometimes you need to adjust and you need to recognize where you're at life, and it's okay to change and it's okay to be somewhat different people and make different choices with what you choose to do. We were more adventurous. Liesl used to be a cliff jumper. Just skiing, I've seen her ski. I can't ski like her. She went 100 plus kilometers down a hill. So, and I could list my accomplishments in adventure, but you hit a point where you're like, you know what? Maybe an adventure is going for a walk on a beach with your lady friend.
Yeah.
Stepping in some quicksand.
Yeah, that is an adventure. Even talking on the camera, adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a great example. We started with the flub, both of us, I think, and it's just most people would be like, oh no, we need to do it again. We're just going to keep going.
We're just going to keep going.
We're going to show you what it is and what it's like.
Yeah.
This family's pretty cute. I don't know if they can see up ahead, but somebody, the wind's blowing. It looks
They're
like the rain might be coming in.
We're at the beach.
Yeah, set it up.
We're committed.
Get it going. And, on that note, we love Mexico.
Yes, we do.
And for those, I guess this is a great place to end. The thing we hear the most from everybody in Canada, You might even have asked us this question if you're listening to it. Is Mexico safe? Is Mexico safe? You might even be wondering that yourself. How safe is Mexico for Canadians to travel in?
Yeah.
And on one hand, it's an impossible question to answer.
It really is.
Because who knows? It's all based on your personal experience, where
Yep.
you go
Where
in Mexico.
you go. Mexico's a really big country. There's a lot of different places.
And for somebody like myself, who is a proud Surrey, BC native, not Surrey, England, Surrey, BC, Surrey's not the safest place for anybody who lives in Surrey who asks us those questions. Family members, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
We've heard that multiple times, and it's always like, have you read the Surrey headlines? Like, we don't read those headlines in the Yucatan, for instance,
Yeah.
and I'm sure maybe they're going on, but like, I think anybody who asks that question about Canada or in relation to Mexico, it's like, I don't know, maybe take a look at your own headlines and just see actually how that feels.
Also, watch our documentaries. Make your own judgment. Use your critical thinking. Because we don't just stay on the normal tourist areas. We go all sorts of places. That's our adventure. I mean, if you want to talk about our adventureness, we show different barrios. We go into where, the Mexicans are living. Make your own decision. Watch
And
our documentaries.
We've had people watch our videos who like Ziwa, for instance, and who are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could go in that neighborhood as a tourist. I didn't feel comfortable going there.
Yeah.
But because they see us wandering and they just see abuelas and cats and little kids playing on the street, they're like, oh, okay, maybe I can walk in those things.
Yeah.
And so, having said that, the reason I brought that up is because of the travel advisories, and they've increased them, so all the headlines now, and we think there's an element of propaganda in that, where it's USA people trying to get people to travel to the USA, for instance. Oh, Mexico's not safe, come to Florida, kind of thing. But the Yucatan is not on the travel advisories. The whole state of Yucatan, the whole peninsula of the Yucatan, other than I guess Chiapas is on there. But for instance, the Maya train goes to Palenque.
Yep.
And it's not on the list, Palenque itself.
Yeah, and we're going to be going to Palenque.
Guerrero, where Ziwa is on the travel advisory list.
Ziwa
However,
is not.
Ziwa isn't.
Yeah.
So, you can take it all with a grain of salt. Yes, there are things that happen to people in Mexico that are not good, as anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
But you can make choices like that. And we call him Padre Yucatan. We met him in Merida last year. And he exemplified exactly what people say about the Yucatan. Is it's such a nice place to travel. It's so friendly, and we really find that. We really find when we're in the Yucatan in particular that things are pretty tranquilo here, and they really like that. So.
They really are. So, to wrap up, if you're gonna start a YouTube channel and you want it to go off, and you don't want to be like us, or just not following the algorithms, not immediately telling our stories, not filling everything with opinions. What else?
Even though we might give some opinions.
We might give some opinions.
Because we have mouths.
But it's not like, oh, my opinion, my opinion.
You must do this.
All of that. And also, putting middle age into our title. Oh my gosh, we've done so many things that really has stacked the cards against us on YouTube, but we still feel like we're doing well. We're very excited to bring you season 3 of Ma. We hope you join along for all the exciting adventures to come, and we appreciate it if you've made it all the way through this video too.
Hey man,
Thank
I've been
you so
entertained the
much.
whole time, so
Yeah, we've been having a great time.
yeah.
Totally a
That's
great
what it's all
time.
about.
Yeah. So thank you. We'll catch you on the next walkumentary. We'll catch you on the next WaTalking. And have a great day.
Hasta pronto.
Hasta pronto.